What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got hyped up NFL teams that flopped. Let's check this out.
You need stars to win in the NFL. Some would argue Super Bowls are captured in the offseason, whether it be splash free agent signings, prized draft picks, or new coaching hires. It takes a lot to build a contender. But we've seen it go the other way too. What happens when it doesn't work? These are the most hyped teams in recent history that didn't pan out.
Dream Team.
Oh yeah, this one for sure, bro.
The 2011 Dream Team
for
Eagles.
sure.
Backup QB Vince Young gave Philly the nickname after a monster offseason talent haul. Here's the list of studs they brought in: two-time All-Pro corner Nnamdi Asomugha.
Like, bro, look at this. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Jason Kelce, like, bro.
And Jason Babin, running back Ronnie Brown, guard Evan Mathis, cornerback Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, and the aforementioned Young, who would back up Mike Vick.
Then they had Shady McCoy, Deshaun Jackson. Yeah, Jeremy Maclin as well. Like, bro, this team was so fucking talented. And like, bro, and I feel like now the Eagles are more stacked than ever and still can't win a championship. Like,
led an offense featuring LaShawn McCoy, Jeremy Maclin, Deshaun Jackson, Jason Peters, and rookie center Jason Kelce. On the other side of the ball, you had Mike Patterson, Trent Cole, and Asante Samuel, now teaming up with.
And they still had Asante Samuel too.
Talk about loaded. So why aren't we talking about them as one of the great teams in NFL history?
Damn, Victor Cruz. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these two right here, bro. One of the most underrated wide receiver duos of all time, man. Akeem Hicks and Victor Cruz,
man.
The
2011 campaign got off to a miserable start. Philly started 1-4 and then hit rock bottom at 4-8. The defense allowed 30 points per game in their 8 losses. Vic and the offense gave the ball away 38 times.
38 times is crazy, bro. Damn. Took an Andy Reid.
Were able to get back on track late and make a
8-8 missed playoffs.
Effort, but their 8-8 record wasn't enough to get in.
Wasted that roster.
In the postseason for the first time since 2007. 11 years earlier,
that Deion?
FC East rival.
I forgot he was even on the Redskins at one point.
The new millennium.
Ooh.
Sanders, just one of many future Hall of Famers on this team.
After nearly making the NFC Championship game in 1999, Washington went all in with a veteran push ahead of the 2000 season. Safety Mark Carrier, age 32. Corner Deion Sanders and QB Jeff George, both age 30.
The only person I know on this list is Bruce Smith.
And 36-year-old Bills legends Bruce Smith and Andre Reed. If that wasn't enough,
of course, Deion Sanders, of course, but
picks in the 2000 draft, linebacker LeVar Arrington and left tackle Chris Samuels. The preseason forecast projected Washington with the second best odds to win the Super Bowl in 2000. Rightfully so, seeing as the new cast joined a team featuring Pro Bowl talent like Champ Bailey, Darrell Green, Stephen Davis.
They even had
and Irving Fryer.
They had Chad Johnson and Champ Bailey too. Like, bro,
6-2 start had the nation's capital buzzing. How could this?
And it's crazy. It's back-to-back NFC East teams too, bro. That's tough.
Brad Johnson was benched after that Week 9 loss to the Titans, and Jeff George didn't fare much better. Washington went on to lose 6 their next 7 games. Their scoring offense dropped to 24th in the league, a massive decline from the second-ranked unit the previous season. Head coach Norv Turner was fired after a Week 14 loss to the Giants.
Tough.
The Skins were knocked out of the playoff race in a 24-3 loss.
I wonder why the fuck they changed their name, bro. Like, it's because it was racist. Like, bro, stop being soft. Like, there was nothing wrong with the Redskins for years, and then they just decided to change it.
Now, let's jump ahead
the
where
Vikings?
the 2018 Vikings were dreaming of a Lombardi after making the conference title game the year before.
His caught Diggs. Wow. Iconic, man. The Minneapolis Miracle. Look at his
Adding
face.
even more reason for optimism was the big.
They had Diggs, Dalvin Cook.
If Minnesota could make the NFC Championship game,
Adam Thielen was in his prime at this time too.
Not to
They had
Dalvin Cook,
Kyle
who missed
Rudolph,
most of the 2017 campaign with a torn
Harrison
ACL.
Smith in his
The
prime,
Colts
Eric
received
Kendricks in his
Diggs,
prime,
Thielen and Rudolph.
Danielle Hunter.
And the offense poised for big things. Mike Zimmer's #1 scoring defense from 2017 had its stars back, adding freshly signed D tackle Sheldon Richardson. Super Bowl or bust for these Vikings.
Oh yeah, and I forgot all about Xavier Rhodes as
Sheldon
well.
Richardson.
He was one of the best corners at this time.
Or bust for these Vikings.
And then bro fell off a cliff.
Goff floats Kupp downfield. What a throw!
Oh, Anthony Barr as well.
Goodbye. Touchdown.
Yeah, this team was so talented,
Minnesota's
bro.
defense fell off in 2018, allowing 21 points per game, down from 15 the previous season. Meanwhile, Cook missed 5 games with a hamstring injury, and the Vikings had the 3rd fewest rushing yards in the league. The O-line was questionable at best, allowing 40 sacks and making things difficult for Cousins in his first year. But the Vikes battled through it, 6-4-1 after a Week 12 win over the Packers, yet the season ended with a whimper as they dropped 3 of their last 5.
Damn. Pick 6.
Picked up by Fitzpatrick. Now a race.
I forgot Minka was on the Dolphins, bro. I don't know how I just keep forgetting that he was traded to
the 24-10
to the Steelers. I think the year after that.
Anything short of a Super Bowl for the
2008
2008
Cowboys
would be seen as a disappointment, seeing as how Dallas brought back 13 Pro Bowlers from a 13-win team.
Wow.
T.O. and Tony Romo were phenomenal in 07.
Did they have
Marion
Dez too?
Barber and Jason Witten playing key roles as well. The talent-laden defense got even better after trading.
Yeah,
for
this nigga Pac-Man Jones had so many off-the-field issues. It was just insane.
Pac-Man Jones and signing veteran linebacker Zach Thomas. They joined DeMarcus Ware, Greg Ellis, Jay
Bro, what y'all
Ratliff,
know about DeMarcus Ware, bro? Prime DeMarcus Ware was absolutely a thing to, bro.
and
Oh
Terrence
my
Newman on a
gosh,
stellar
man.
Unit,
That was something
Matt
special to
Wright,
watch.
Wade Phillips, all the pieces were in
Prime
place for a
DeMarcus
Super
Ware.
Bowl campaign in 2008.
Bro had a nasty ass counter spin move.
Romo deep ball. T.O. in the clear.
Everything was going to plan too after a 3-0
Oh, that's that
start,
Miles
but
Austin?
Overtime against the Cardinals in Week 6 proved to be a costly stretch. Romo broke his pinky on that final drive, and a few plays later, the Cowboys were upset on a blocked punt.
Is back deep.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a touchdown.
That's tough.
And
That's
the
tough.
Cardinals have defeated the Dallas Cowboys early in overtime.
Dallas lost 2 of their next 3 with backup Brad Johnson, but Romo rallied the club back to a 9-5 mark heading into the final 2 games of the season. Win and in, easier said than done. America's team was run over in their last game ever at Texas Stadium.
Yes, sir. Just like we did to them last week. Oh my goodness.
Needs a block.
That nigga gone.
82 yards.
That's
Despite
tough.
the loss, the Cowboys had one last chance in a winner-take-all matchup with Philly for the NFC East title in Week 17. Spoiler alert, it didn't go well.
44-6 is nasty work.
Marion Barber loses the football.
That's crazy.
Jose Leon
Yo, bro, it's about to go out of bounds too. 9-7 missing the playoffs is actually crazy.
makes
I ain't
another
gonna hold you.
defensive touchdown.
And he did the was that the Iggy Shuffle?
The Colts were ready to break out in 2001, following back-to-back playoff
Oh
trips
man,
in
yeah,
1999
Peyton. They had
and
Marvin
2000.
Harrison.
Peyton Manning and company only got stronger with the addition of rookie wideout Reggie Wayne. With
Reggie
Marvin Harrison
Wayne
and
too.
Edwin
I forgot about Reggie Wayne. Oh
James
my
in their
gosh.
prime. This would be one of the
Reggie
best
Wayne was
offenses
so
in the
nasty,
league.
bro.
Pitch back. They got an open guy. Pathan's wide open. No Bill near him. Colts burn the Bills.
That's
You
tough.
burn Manning, he'll get you.
The Colts scored
Nah,
40
Reggie
plus
Wayne
in
was
each
a
of their
dog.
first 2 games, but then the wheels started to fall off. A pair of blowout
Never mind,
losses
I was
to
about
the
to- I was
eventual Super Bowl
thinking
champ
of somebody else.
Patriots and a season-ending injury to their prized
Ooh.
running back.
And Edgerrin James is down.
The Colts lost 7 of their next 9 games after James tore his ACL. Manning took a big step back, tossing 23 interceptions, second most in the league. Jim Mora's defense gave up the second most points in the NFL and saw its opponents score 25 or more in 12 different games. Indy's head coach was let go after the season, but not before one of the most outrageous we've ever seen.
Yo,
not before
Peyton Manning got cracked.
Head coach was let go after the season, but not before one of the most outrageous game rants we've ever seen.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
The Colts
That's just sound like preseason. You want to talk about preseason?
10, but got back on track the rest of the decade.
Nah, that shit is hilarious.
Every season until 2011. How about a trio of hype teams from 2017? We'll begin in Oakland, where the Raiders were coming off a 12-4 season and added homegrown legend Marshawn Lynch to the roster. Derek Carr was
Marshawn Lynch was underwhelming on the Raiders, bro.
2016 campaign short. Oakland also brought in tight end Jared Cook and Cordero Patterson, Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, and an outstanding.
Bro, they had Cooper and Crabtree to go along with Marshawn Lynch, Jared Cook, who was really good at that time as well. Who else they said they had? Cordero Patterson. To go along, bro, he was still, I think he was still a hybrid running back / receiver at this time as well.
Patterson to team up with Amari Cooper, Michael.
I didn't know how stacked this 2017 was, bro.
Score games the previous season. Would they be as fortunate in 2017?
Carr under pressure, avoids the sack.
That is crazy.
Trying to run it in.
That might be a fumble.
Can you believe that?
Wow, talk about bad luck.
Nothing goes out of bounds, falls out of his hands inside the pylon. Oh my goodness.
Trying to do too much. And he had Khalil Mack too.
Games, averaging a measly 13 points per game in that stretch. Their rushing offense dropped from 6th to 25th in the league, even with the addition of Beast Mode. They were the 7th ranked scoring offense the previous season, 23rd in 2017. Turnovers were a major factor too, plus 16 in 2016, all the way to minus 14 the following year. Defensive coordinator Ken Norton Jr. was fired after a Week 11 loss to New England.
And here they're going to go long again. Open is Cooks.
Brandon Cooks.
Touchdown, New England.
The Raiders dropped their last 4 games, finishing 6-10. 7 of those 10.
Oh, what a catch!
And head coach Jack Del Rio was let go after the season. Dak and Zeke were one of the best
rookies
in NFL history. The first-year studs led Dallas to a 13-3
Cole Beasley. I think they had Terrence Williams, I believe his name was, and I don't think they had Dez
title in
this
2016.
Time.
The Cowboys figured to be one of the top offenses in the league with Dez Bryant.
Oh, they still did have Dez and Jason Witten. So bro, there was no reason why this team shouldn't have won a ring this year.
By week 5, they had already matched their loss total from 2016.
That's another rookie, Xavier Woods. This one, Adams, touchdown!
Dallas got back on track, winning 3 in a row.
Cole Beasley was a solid,
6-game suspension for domestic
solid
violence.
option.
The Cowboys went 0-3 in their first 3 games without the All-Pro running back, losing by an average of 23 points per game.
Prescott on the run, flips it.
Wow. To the Potmans, nigga. Is that Desmond King?
King's got a blocker in front. Ingram.
Wow.
He's going to take it the distance.
Dak threw 13 picks, up from just 4 the year before. Dallas's scoring offense dropped from 5th to 14th, and by the time Zeke returned, the damage had already been done. The Cowboys were knocked out of playoff contention with a Week 16 home loss to Seattle. But back to those Packers, a thrilling victory.
I think I remember this team, bro. They had, I think they had. Did they have Jared Cook? I believe they did. They had Devontae Adams, Brandon. They had Randall Cobb, my bad. Randall Cobb. I think this was Jordy Nelson's last season, I believe.
16 division
I believe it was.
Then a blowout loss in the NFC Championship game.
And they still had Clay Matthews, I believe.
2017.
Or he might have been on the Rams at that time. I don't know.
They hit free agency.
Okay, Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams.
hard.
Martellus
Key
Bennett.
additions included tight end Martellus Bennett, guard Jari Evans, and a double dose of rookie running backs in Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. The offense was now stacked with the receiving trio of Adams, Nelson, and Cobb. But after a 4-1 start, the season took a sharp turn in Week 6.
He took a big hit at the end of that play just as he got it
Broken
out.
collarbone in Week 6. That's tough.
That hit effectively ended Rodgers' season, though he did try to return from the broken collarbone in Week 15. Backup Brett Hundley.
This nigga, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what the fuck he be doing to return from these injuries so fucking soon.
First time since 2008.
Is that Brett Hundley?
You think this is a distraction? Is this just hurting the team?
2005 Eagles.
I ain't hurting the team.
A whole lot of off-season drama with their number one playmaker set the Eagles on a disastrous course in 2005 after making
bro. One thing about T.O., bro, this nigga was so uncoachable, bro. Like, you have all the talent in the world, but if you not coachable, bro, like you just out back, gang. For real.
High with their
you gotta be coachable. I'd rather have a nigga that's coachable than the nigga who's very talented. Cause we've seen instances where very talented players were never, you know what I'm saying, coachable and shit like that, and just couldn't, you know what I'm saying, win a ring, or you know what I'm saying.
Team for 4 games for conduct detrimental to the team, and he will not be returning to play for the team even after the conclusion of that suspension.
On the field, Philly was hit with a rash of injuries with top stars like Donovan McNabb, Ryan Westbrook, Vito Shepard, Trey Thomas, and Jerome McDougal all missing significant time.
And McNabb is going to lose the ball, and it's a live ball, and Donovan's going to have to come limping off the field again.
The Eagles went 0-6 against NFC East teams and dropped to the 27th ranked scoring offense in the league. Their defense took a giant step backwards too, just 29 total sacks, down from 47 the previous season. After being picked as the NFC favorites heading into 2005, the Eagles would miss the playoffs for the first time since 1999.
That's tough.
Continuing the Super Bowl
the
hangover,
Niners, oh my goodness, bro. These niggas be having so many great teams, but just can never get over the hump, bro. Like,
the 2019 season ended with a blown lead in the final minutes of Super Bowl.
Yo, they definitely should have won this game, bro, 100%.
But San Francisco had their eyes on a 6th Lombardi heading into the Bazooka.
Jimmy G was playing out of his fucking mind at this point. They had Debo, Kittle, who else they had? They had Trent Williams. Did they have I don't think they had Ayuk at the time. I don't think so, because this was 2019. I think Ayuk came into the league, I believe, the next season. They had Fred Warner. They had Nick Bosa. Like, bro, this team was so fucking stacked. I believe they had DeForest Buckner, I believe, at that time as well.
It was our COVID season, but no one could have predicted the string of bad luck they'd have in 2020.
Well, you just hate to see this. Nick Bosa, one of the brightest young stars in the game, and he has to be carted off. And now we've got another
Solomon Thomas.
That's Solomon Thomas.
Damn, yeah, I remember this season right here, bro. They were getting cooked by injuries. And that's basically what's happening this year too. This 2020 all over again.
Reduced to rubble in a matter of weeks. Jimmy Garoppolo, George Kittle, Raheem Mostert, Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, and Richard Sherman, among many more.
Oh, I forgot they had Richard Sherman too. Yeah, Richard Sherman was already washed at that point.
San Francisco had 18 players on IR. Doesn't matter how much talent you have, no team.
Yeah, as a Ravens fan, I understand their damn pain, because 2021 was a rough season for us, bro. Look at Nick Mullins.
3 different quarterbacks started.
That's CJ Beathard right next to him.
The last 3 home games were played in Arizona due to Santa Clara COVID restrictions. Weird season and horrible luck, but San Fran rebounded, making each of the next 3 NFC title games.
Odell Beckham traded from
2019 Browns. Yeah, they had him, Baker, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb,
head coach, a new
Njoku,
joining an offense that already featured Nick Chubb and Jarvis Landry. And Cleveland figured to have its future franchise cornerstones in QB Baker Mayfield and D-end Myles Garrett. Cleveland finally won its first playoff game.
I think they had Denzel Ward too.
Taken down
think he might have been a rookie, I believe, right?
A 30-point loss, and their home opener was a microcosm of the Browns' 2019 season. Cleveland started 2-6, with Mayfield struggling mightily. Though Chubb, Landry, and Beckham were each great individually, Freddie Kitchens' offense never got in sync, finishing 22nd in scoring. The defense didn't fare much better, allowing the third most rushing yards in the league.
And he's got this running game working.
Matt Breida. Oh my gosh, number 23, you're slow. Holy shit, and that angle was ass.
The Browns lost 4 of their last 5 and dismissed Kitchens after their 6-10 campaign. They would end the playoff streak 1 year later, though, with Kevin Stefanski at
Kevin
the helm.
Stefanski's a good head coach, bro.
From one up-and-coming hopeful to another.
1995 Patriots.
1995, where Bill Parcells and his...
Now, I probably don't know too much about this because this was before my time.
Playoff season. On offense, it was Pro Bowlers Drew Bledsoe, Ben Coates, and Bruce Armstrong leading the charge with an incoming future Hall of Famer.
They give it to Martin. Big hole through the middle. Martin.
Wow.
Touchdown, New England.
In one of their best drafts of all time, New England secured running back Curtis Martin, linebacker Ted Johnson, and another future Hall of Famer and corner Ty Law. The Pats had 15 starters aged 26 or younger, and Parcells was building a contender heading into the season. But after winning their season opener, New England lost their next 5 games by an average of 19 points per contest.
Wow.
Bledsoe stands in that time and throws an interception, picked off by Cornelius Bennett.
Damn, that nigga gone. That nigga is gone.
Bledsoe was the 1994 NFL passing leader, but regressed big time in 95.
13 touchdowns, 16
completed
picks
just
straight.
50% of his passes, throwing 13 touchdowns against 16 picks. A once top 10 scoring offense had dropped to 23rd a year later. Parcells' young defense couldn't match their success from 94 either.
Dolphins with a 3-0 lead. That's a timing pattern. Irving Fryar going all the way.
The Pats allowed almost 24 points per game and lost 7 times by double digits in a 6-10 campaign. It takes time to build a winner, though, and just a year later,
7 losses by double
Parcells,
digits is
Bledsoe
crazy.
and company were AFC champs. Coming off the best season in franchise
2013,
history, the 2013
oh my gosh,
Houston
Arian
Texans
Foster.
were up there among the NFL's elite.
2013. Who was on this team 2013? I think they had Matt Schaub at quarterback, I want to say. Was D-Hop? When did D-Hop get drafted? I think he might have been on this team, or he might have been like a couple years later. Okay, so yeah, this was the year that he was drafted. Okay. So I was right.
Turning
I know my shit.
Pro Bowlers, Houston added legendary safety Ed Reed in free agency and future
I
All-Pro
forgot they did sign Ed Reed.
They were talking Super Bowl in Houston.
J.J. Watt. There's Matt Schaub. Damn, what a catch. Did they still have Andre Johnson, or was he a part of the Titans at that time?
Walk-off scores. Then the unthinkable happened. 14 straight losses. That's right.
Damn.
Once powerhouse to finish dead last in the league.
14 straight losses is
10 losses
crazy.
From the previous season,
Case
the
Keenum.
largest in NFL history.
Sean has it, throws.
Pick 6, Richard Sherman.
He's going down the sideline. He has followers, and not just on Twitter. Touchdown Seahawks.
Houston averaged just 17 points per game as running back Arian Foster missed half the season with a back injury.
Arian Foster was
Matt
a
Schaub threw
demon.
multiple interceptions in 5 of his 10 games played, and the
Multiple
Texans' defense
interception
fell
in
apart too.
multiple
Houston
games is
lost
crazy.
5 games by 20 or more points in one of the most puzzling seasons you'll ever see.
Oh, what the fuck?
This deal is now happening.
Yeah, 2022 Broncos, man.
7
They
years
had
after
goddamn Russ, Judy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick. I think he got hurt. I think it was like a torn ACL or something before that season. They also had Javonte Williams, Greg Dulcich, bro. This team was really good.
Peyton
on
Manning
paper.
rode off
And I
into
believe
the
they
sunset.
had
The
Bradley
Broncos
Chubb
finally
still
had
at that
a viable
time.
replacement at quarterback. Could
On the
Russell
defensive
Wilson
side of the
recreate
ball.
the veteran free agent magic we saw from Manning? Brady, Warner, Favre, and Montana? Denver sure hoped so. Paired with new head coach Nathaniel
Yeah,
Hackett,
Nathaniel Hackett was a
Broncos were
shit head
projected
coach.
to be one of the best teams of 2022.
Not
After an
every
embarrassing
offensive
week
coordinator
1
can be a
loss
head
in
coach,
Wilson's
bro.
return to Seattle, the Broncos were able to scrape together a pair of ugly wins, and that's where the fun stopped.
Oh, I remember this game. KJ Hamler was pissed.
Slides, fires,
Because KJ Hamler was open.
4th and 8. Wilson throws on the run, and it is intercepted. And that will do it.
Wilson under pressure. Wrapped up, tried to throw the ball forward.
How do you drop that, nigga?
No, he's going to be ruled down.
Look at his face.
The thing is, Denver was in a lot of these games. 9 of their 12 losses in 2022 came by 1 score, but Hackett and Wilson combined to form the league's worst offense, scoring just under
17 points a game.
Wilson
is
went 4-11 as the starter,
not
and sacked 55 times, most in the NFL. The threat of a run game was eliminated when second-year back Javonte Williams tore his ACL in Week 4. Hackett was fired after just 15 games and replaced by offensive guru and Super Bowl champion Sean Payton ahead of the 2023 campaign. Yet, after another disappointing season, the Wilson era in Denver was swiftly put to an end when the Broncos cut him in 2024.
It's tough.
Brown is the motion man.
Our Cardinals. Yeah, they had Fitzgerald, Michael Floyd, and Carson Palmer. Who was their running back?
The Cardinals had the most wins in franchise history and looked to build on their NFC Championship run.
They got Calais Campbell.
All their stars were back, and they traded for Pro Bowl pass rusher Chandler Jones. Preseason Super Bowl odds had Arizona with the second best chances to take home the Lombardi, but it was a case of Jekyll and Hyde for this squad. The Cards started 1-3 and suffered a slew of puzzling losses. They lost to the Jimmy Garoppolo-led Pats in Week 1, then to the eventual 4-12 Rams in Week 4. They tied Seattle.
Was that John Brown too?
Blinking another potential game-winning field goal.
Missed. This game was just so crazy. I think this ended in a tie too.
Miami made theirs and took Arizona down in Week 14, and in the Cards' worst defensive performance of the season, they allowed 48 points in a loss to New Orleans. All of this led to a 7-8-1 campaign and a missed opportunity for back-to-back playoff trips.
Vinny Testaverde,
1999 Jets.
Was last year a fluke? No, it was not a fluke. Bill Parcells says this guy is one of the most accurate throwers in the National Football League. It's going to be fun to watch.
It was one of the most anticipated seasons in Jets history. Bill Parcells' team was fresh off an AFC Championship game and had their core intact. Veteran addition Steve Atwater bolstered Bill Belichick's second-ranked scoring defense from 1998. Vinny Testaverde led an offense featuring Curtis Martin, Keyshawn Johnson, and Wayne Corbett. But in the second quarter of their season opener, a freak injury threw a wrench in New York's Super Bowl plan.
What the fuck happened? Tore his Achilles.
Vinny Testaverde. No one hit him.
He made that quick move.
That's crazy that has happened to the Jets twice. Because then it happened to A-Rod last. Wow.
Fell immediately to the ground.
Both in Week 1. That's nasty work.
Meyer and even punter Tom Tupa at quarterback before settling in with Ray Lucas.
Damn, the football gods must hate the Jets, bro.
But New York dropped 6 of their first 7 games, and the slow start doomed their playoff hopes. Lucas rallied the team back to 8-8, but it was too little, too late. And you know the old saying,
back-to-back shit
repeats itself.
Yeah, like the biggest part of them not living up to expectations because he got hurt. If Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt, the Jets would have had a great season last year. I'm not even gonna hold you. That's tough.
The Big Apple was buzzing with the Jets bringing in 4-time NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers in 2023. New York was picked for HBO's Hard Knocks. And
especially, like, bro, with how good their defense was last year. Oh, my gosh.
The Jets' incredible rookie class from 2022 had a year of seasoning, and running back Breece Hall was fully healthy after a knee injury cut his first year short. An elite defense finally had a quarterback to keep them off the field. So here we go. Week 1, Monday Night Football, all eyes on number 8.
Protection breaks down and time runs out. Down goes Rodgers on the sack for Leonard Floyd.
Aaron Rodgers right now doesn't look 100% right. Aaron Rodgers is sitting down in the field. He's hurt.
3 plays in
one
of the most
you can see the look on his face. Like, bro, you can see the exact moment his Achilles snaps.
Is into one of the most awaited.
Boom, right there, bro.
Seasons in franchise history, and that's what happens. A total gut punch for Jets fans everywhere. Rodgers' torn Achilles took him out for the season.
Not
New
again.
York's offense was once again in the hands of Zach Wilson.
I mean, Zach, he played good at sometimes. That Chiefs game, I believe, was like the best of his career. Oh no, the game against the Broncos was the best of his career because he threw over 300 yards that game.
Robert Saleh's defense.
But he played great against the Chiefs. They almost won that game.
Managed to start 4-3, but then a 5-game skid all that ended their season. The Jets suffered 6 losses of 17 or more points, and the long bout of suffering continues into 2024.
That is tough, man. Hey, I want to know what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? Down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos y'all want me to react to. Without further ado, I'm out. Yeah.